How you doing? My name is Jacob Weed, and today I want to talk to you about O.U.I, operating under the influence. All right, and that could be under the influence of drugs, or pharmaceuticals, or anything the officer thinks possibly you may be under the influence on. All right, while you're driving. Okay. Now, the way the O.U.I laws are written are extremely vague. But as long as they don't find like a roach or a joint or any other type of drugs in your car, it's really going to be hard to prove that you were actually under the influence of any substance unless they take your blood. All right. Now, here's where it's going to get tricky. Say you use some drugs 2 to 3 days prior to driving. All right. Now, you're not under the influence at all, but it's still in your system. Okay. So what they like to do is take your blood and then say, oh, well, it was in your system. And normally a guy pleads out. Look at the drug test. All right. Look at the blood test. All right. And they like to do what's called a nanogram test. And like a nanogram is like a nano of a gram. Really small amount. Trace amounts. And here in the state of Michigan, there is no standard to the nanogram test. Okay. Which then would have to fall back on the federal standard. Okay. And for marijuana, it's 50 nanograms. That's the cutoff. Okay. For methamphetamines or cocaine or barbiturates or any other drugs, right? Opiates would be another one. Those vary, but the cutoff level is 250 nanograms. And what that means is if they test your blood and it comes back over the limit to 1 day or 2 day detection, okay, then they test it twice. All right. They test it once and then they test it again. Okay. And if both times they come over, they are over the nanogram limit to 1 to 2 day detection, then yes, you would be convicted of operating under the influence. Now, if they test your blood and it's under the nanogram limits, then they cannot test it again. So look at the test. All right. If you've been unfortunate and haven't operated under the influence of, like, say, cocaine. All right. Well, you need to be under 250 nanograms. Okay. Now, if they say, well, it was in your system, how much was in your system? That's your first question. Well, how much? And there has been instances where they've shown a passing drug test, knowing full well that it was only tested once and that it was under the nanogram level, and they still try to convict people. So here's the 411 on that. Check your nanograms, okay? And if you are under the influence of marijuana, here in the state of Michigan, all marijuana testing has been stopped, okay? Because CBD heightens your THC level. So your THC level might be 45 nanograms, but because of the CBD and the CBD content, that raises and heightens your THC level. All right. So what that means, if they say you're under the influence of marijuana, take your blood. Because all testing as of August 31st, 2022 have been stopped for marijuana for operating under the influence if your blood is taken. All right. Now, that's not going to stop them from trying to convict you. All right. So know your rights. Read the papers that are in front of you. And if you are under the influence, well, what's your nanogram level? And like I said, if they test it once and it's over, and they retest it again and it's over, they got to test it twice. So you're going to have two separate levels of nanograms. If there's just one test of nanograms, that's a passing drug test, and they can't convict you on operating under the influence of anything. All right, so know your rights first and foremost. My name is Jacob Hustle Weed, and know your rights and stay safe and peace out.